So every 10,000 words that I write on this book, I get to open one of these magic set booster packs. So, NaNoWriMo time. It is finally that time of the year. Well, right now it is October. It is the 20th of October, and I am definitely in the middle of preptober, which is preparing for NaNoWriMo, and I'm currently working on kind of finalizing my outline for the book that I will start drafting in November. I don't expect this year to finish NaNoWriMo, to write 50,000 words, but I do need to start writing this book, and so of course I'm going to participate in NaNoWriMo as I have done every single year for the past 12 years or something. So I've just been working on figuring out some of the outline details, the plot details for the story, and I also need to do the character arcs, and then I think I'm ready. This is actually book 2 in a series, so I have a lot of things to carry over from book 1, definitely, which makes it easier, but because it's a sequel, it also makes it harder because now I have to do it again and write another great story with the same characters and kind of following the same structure. And I have written down some stuff already, but I'm not quite done with the things that I need to figure out. So that's step 1, is figuring out the plot structure of the story, and then character arc and motivations and things like that. And then I definitely do want to do at least a brief 3-act structure, story beats outline, and then I'll be ready to actually start writing on November the 1st. Good morning and happy NaNoWriMo morning, I guess, because it's the 1st of November. It's the first day of NaNoWriMo. I have almost finished the outline that I was working on, but not really. However, I have enough to start off the story in any case, so I definitely have enough to just start writing today, which is what I'm gonna do. I have also not set up my Nano project on the Nano website. So I've made myself a cup of coffee, and let's go do that now so that we can start writing. You know what? I'm just gonna call it the sequel because it is the first sequel I will ever write. So now I need Scrivener. I will do new folder, chapter 1, and then just go by scenes because I'm not sure how I'm gonna structure it just now, probably in a very similar way to how I structured the first book. So now I have that set up. I just need to write, which is, you know, easier said than done. So I'll start drinking my coffee, and let's see how much I can write today. It's early in the morning, so I should be able to write quite a bit today. Let's get to writing! So that was a really good morning writing session. I passed the daily goal of 1,667. I wrote 2,100 words. Yes, and I might even write a little bit later as well, but basically I wrote the first chapter. So that was the entirety of the first chapter, and I'm really, really happy with what I wrote. And I think that was a great start. So I'm excited to write some more later today. So I'm a bit sick now, but I just passed 10,000 words. I was actually very close yesterday. I only had 120 words left to write, but I was also sick, so I didn't get to 10k yesterday, but I got there this morning. I'll see how much more I can get done today. Still sick me here. I made a cup of tea. Then I remembered that I made a little reward system for myself this time around. So I bought 5 Magic the Gathering Lord of the Rings set booster packs. If you're not aware, Magic the Gathering is a trading card game. Really like the game. These specific packs are a bit pricey, also because of the theme, because the Lord of the Rings ones are very popular. But I managed to get my hands on 5 of them recently, and so I thought, instead of opening them all at once, like I usually do when I buy magic packs, what if I just reward myself with one every 10,000 words that I write on this book? I think that's nice. So every 10,000 words that I write on this book, I get to open one of these magic set booster packs. And a good way to, keep the excitement going to open these packs, and also just to have a little extra motivation, I guess, to write. So that means I can now open the first pack, the first set booster pack, because I wrote 10,000 words. All right, so I'm just gonna open this and let you know if I get anything good. But the way I usually play the game is I kind of use all the cards that I get anyway, even if they're not like super rare or anything. I still find a way to use them, and especially this particular set, obviously because Lord of the Rings, it's really fun to me, so I'll definitely be using all of the cards that I get in some kind of like deck at some point. But of course you always want to get like the more special cards. But here we go. First pack. Let's open it up. So we start from the bottom. The more rare cards are at the end, as well as a token. This last one is a token, but I'll just start the way they're meant to be opened. Okay, nothing too crazy. In this one, I got 1 rare legendary creature, halfling soldier Pippin, and then 1 foil, which is an uncommon Saruman's Trickery, which is a spell or an instant, but it's foil. And then the art card is this. Pretty cool. Nothing crazy, but still good cards. So it's sometime later since I filmed the NaNoWriMo clips, and I actually had to take a break like halfway through NaNoWriMo because of something else, so I didn't write anything else in the second half of Nano. And then since December, since the start of December, I've been writing a little bit, but now it's like the end of December and I have some time off, which means that I get to write every day, which is great. And today I wrote 1,600 words, and I'm currently at 18,037 words of this draft. So that's really nice. Soon closing in on 20k, and I get to open my second magic pack. And it's been going pretty well. I've enjoyed what I've written, though some of it is still discovery writing, and so I'm kind of figuring out things as the characters are figuring them out, if that makes sense, which is fun, but also kind of frustrating and difficult at the same time, because I don't know how some of these things are solved, let's say, because I have like actual clues in my book. And I know how one clue leads to the other, but I don't know all the details of how the characters actually figure it out. Which means I have to figure it out as they do. Which can be a little bit tricky, but also pretty fun. So I think I'll leave it at that today though, because I'm quite tired now. But hopefully tomorrow we can get a 20k and get to open a new magic pack. I need to write almost 2,000 words today, so I've decided to just come here with my typewriter and coffee and just do that. Just try not to get distracted from screens. If you're wondering why I'm gonna bounce a little, it's because I'm sitting on a bouncy ball. So, yes. Let's write about 2,000 words. So, it's the next day, but I realized I didn't open my pack of magic cards for writing another 10,000 words. And excuse me, I am sick again. A bit over a month later from the first time I was sick, I'm sick again. But anyway. Okay, let's see what we got this time. Okay, interesting pulls. I got an uncommon foil, Gothmog Morgul Lieutenant, and then I got a rare. I got Galadriel, this card sounds really useful. And then I got what looks to be one from the vault. These are like older cards or like classic magic cards, but I'm a bit unsure what this is because it also says 2 out of 3. This is Doomsday Spectre, and it's a creature, a flying creature. But I'm a bit confused about this card. I'll have to look it up because I don't understand. It looks like it's something that is rare or like a good pull. But yeah, I'm a bit confused about this one. Still, good pull again, and I'm really excited to use these cards in some decks. After I open all of them, and then I can make some cool decks out of them. And the art card is of Aragorn and Arwen. So these will go into the collection. So now I have to write another 10,000 words to get my next pack. Good morning. Still have the tree up. There's actually been a blizzard, like an unprecedented blizzard over the last few days here, and we've been completely snowed in. I've never seen anything like this since we've been in Denmark. It's actually been pretty crazy, but at the same time it means that I have more time to write. I am currently at 24,400 words, something like that. So about 5,000 words away from my next 10,000 milestone. So I'm hoping to get the last of that done quickly. But yeah, good morning. Let's go write some words, shall we? It's also been going pretty well. I'm mostly discovery writing this, except for like the clues, like I mentioned before, and how they kind of go from one to the other in a sort of very general way. But because it's very general, I have to actually sit down and figure out the details of that myself as the characters figure them out. And I guess for that reason, I find that I'm focusing a lot more on the external plot, which is this competition where they have to solve clues. Try not to spoil too much. So I'm focusing a lot more on that in this first draft rather than the character plot, which in a book like this, I feel like a lot of people think that the external plot, which is, for example, this competition, is the main plot, but it's actually not. It's always the character plot that is the most important. However, that's all fine, because I'm discovery writing this. I can always go back in draft 2 and add all of those character beats in at the right moments. But I am trying to remind myself as I'm writing this that I should also focus on the character plot when I can, and when I can remember to do it, so that I don't have to do it completely from scratch in draft 2. But yes, it's been fun. So I have my typewriter here because I would like to write a bit more words today, and this does the trick. Usually I write a lot more words a session on the typewriter than I do on my computer, so I'm gonna use this for this morning writing session. So let's get some words down, hopefully. Oof, excuse, I look a bit messy, but I am close to 30k. I'm at 29,241. I just had a really, really nice writing session on my trusty typewriter, which never lets me down, especially when I need to write more words per session. So, getting close. Hopefully I can write the other 800 or so words later today and then get to 30k. Let's do this. So, update, it's done. I got to 30k last night. So I'm really excited about that. That's about half of the manuscript, I would say. Right now in Scrivener, I have it set to 70,000 words, but I can't really say exactly how long the first draft will be, but I usually aim for around 70 to 80,000 words for first draft. Sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more, but it's about that. So I think half is what I would say, but you know what this means. It means we get to open another magic pack. Just came back to my office where I have these, and let's see what we get in this one. Art card, that's pretty cool. Ooh, interesting. Okay, wow, all right. So I actually got some really good pulls from this specific pack. So my friends and I who play Magic actually did a draft recently with the draft booster packs of this set, and so I've seen some of these cards before, but I got actually some really good ones in this pack. So I've seen some of these before, but for example this one, it's just a nice art version of it, and the actual ability is also good, and I've used it in that draft play. But these are some really cool ones. So for example, I have this rare of Boromir, another rare, Horn of Gondor. This one is a common, but it's a foil common. And I pulled a mythic. And this sounds absolutely insane. I will just leave it here so you can pause and read it if you're curious. It also costs 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. This is insane, but it's green. And I usually play green, black, red, like a combination of those. And this is insane. And I also usually play multiplayer with my friends. So this sounds, I haven't looked that much into it, but this sounds pretty crazy for that deck that I might build with all of these Lord of the Rings cards. So this one was actually a really good pull. And I think quite fitting for having written 30,000 words. So I'm quite pleased about that. So I think I will end it here for this part of the vlog, and I will continue this little experiment for the other half of this draft and continue to open magic packs every 10,000 words, but I don't want these videos to be too long. So I will end this one here, and then I will see you in part 2 when I hopefully get to finish the manuscript of this sequel. But I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you like this little gimmicky idea. At least for me, it's really fun. I get to reward myself a little bit, and I think it's nice to just find that something that you can reward yourself with for doing a good job. And in this case, I chose magic, but it can be anything. It doesn't have to be expensive trading card game sets. But yes, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time with a new video. Bye!